Okay, so day one complete. That was from Land's End to Bodmin. So, how was it for you?
It was actually fine. It's supposed to be the hardest day because it is up and down constantly, almost constantly. The elevation's pretty severe in places. The only thing I would say that was hard was the heat and lack of water because there are
no shops at all, or anywhere to stop, really.
for the last 20 miles.
It's a good route, but it's very... I suppose the biggest difference that I found today is that unlike everything else we do, which is very much a kind of touristy-esque kind of enjoyment, when it's a totally different game when you're going from A to B. When you're going from A to B, you are having to go in a specific direction. It isn't necessarily going to be nice, isn't necessarily going to be rated by cyclists. It's just you are going to have to.
It felt like it's a compromise. You know, it wasn't like the main roads, and it wasn't a terrible route.
No.
But you could make it more scenic if you went for longer.
Definitely.
But obviously, you'd be cycling for a month.
Exactly. So, I mean, we started off this morning, obviously, with awful weather. So it was nice and quiet down at Land's End. And then first thing is we opened the door first thing in the morning. It was raining, which is not what you expect.
Mizzling.
And then, mizzling is probably a better word. And then by the time we got down to Penzance and St Michael's Mount, the sun started to break through, pulled out into the country. And out in the country, as soon as you moved into that, it's nice being back up in Leicester, really. It's just nice, clean, straightforward, undulating ground. So the hills here are no more dramatic than anything we've done so far.
It's similar to Isle of Wight.
And and even the stuff that we've done around Leicester, like when you go through some of those that are up and down, some of those are way harder than what we're doing here. And the Hereford video, but Pendlay,
Shropshire, yes,
Portway. Yeah, that's way harder than what would any of the stuff. If you can do the Portway, you can do anything. Certainly around here, this is in
this country, yes, indeed.
This was fine. This was perfectly okay in that respect. But the temperature was outrageous, absolutely ludicrous.
And it wasn't even that hot. It's supposed to be a lot hotter in the Midlands.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah,
but I think it was hotter than 22 degrees.
I didn't actually even check the temperature, but I mean, my tan lines and I've gone red in places, and I don't do red. I generally just go straight to brown. But you can see, there was a bit of a tan line there, so it was definitely a bit of a scorcher.
Yes, I have that, but more red.
Yeah.
My face too.
Yeah. So other than that, how was your bike?
My bike actually behaved.
There you go.
Unlike your bike.
My bike did not behave.
Big disaster.
Yeah, I had absolutely everything go wrong today. My rear mech, which has never had a problem with whatsoever, decided to throw it off the lowest cog into the rear wheel, going up a hill. So I wasn't doing anything dramatic. I was already in the lowest front chainring, and then last sprocket, for whatever reason, I thought I'm just going to drop it in a granny gear because this is quite steep, and I'm just chilling through it, and it just chucked it off the end. So I had to stop there in the middle of this bloody steep hill, put the chain back on, bike decks it in the process, which is frustrating. Later on, around about a half hour later. Also, with that rear mech, by the way, I couldn't replicate the issue. I tried by the side of the road, I tried to get it to do the same thing, and now that we've arrived at our destination, I still couldn't do it. I re-indexed the entire back, and it's all
the bike's decided he's fine. Because he's not.
Now it's happy. But then we were on another trail halfway through the day.
That was a monster.
Yeah. And it was nice. It was actually trail, so it was rough ground. Turned a corner, and there's a bloody steep concrete thing.
25% had to be.
At least, yeah. And I was pedaling there, and I was in the wrong gear, so I did drop gears quite quickly. My right cleat got stuck. My cleats have never been stuck. My right is the one I use really loose, and it's the one I just pop out every time. For whatever reason, just locked in totally, wheelied up, and then just had to crash down straight into a fence, bruising my wrist and my elbow. So yeah, that wasn't good. Lost the bolts off my front fender. That fell apart, so it's now held together with black tape. My stand, my two-prong stand, the actual bolt that's going through there has disconnected itself because it's fallen over so many times today, so it won't actually stand on its stand. What else is broken? I think that's it.
That's
Um,
enough, probably, for the
oh,
first day.
yeah, and with all that problems with my back wheel, I managed to knock it out a tree. So it was riding along going, it feels like the bike's breaking, spinning the rear wheel, and it was completely out of true for a brand new wheel, which I was really, I mean, again, it's obviously because it's fallen a couple of times, but I was still a little bit kind of like, it shouldn't really go that far out of true that much. So I do have a truing key with me, and I managed to just 2/4 turns on the one spoke that was actually catching on the brake, and it's square again, and it's all round, I should say, and it's working perfectly well. But other than that, the bike's been a dream. Yeah, so never had any amount of problems with my bike, with that bike or any bike to that level
All in
ever.
one day.
In one
First
day,
day
in one
of
day, it's like the worst day
trip.
ever on a bike. That is, yeah, disaster after disaster after disaster. The good news is the saddle was fine, so my bum is happy. I had enough of the pain going on. I'm waiting to see if I can actually still ride tomorrow. Well, I will be able to ride, but it's how much
How
pain that
comfortable
causes
is it
me. Yeah,
in?
so my fingers hurt, my wrist and my elbow all hurt. So it's when I actually flex quite heavily, it's not comfortable. But fingers crossed tomorrow will be good.
Bruised. Wow.
So yeah, other than the heat, today was pretty good. Tomorrow we are carrying on. Are we in
Oakhampton. The
Oakhampton
next
tomorrow? So that's
stop.
Devon. So we're into Devon tomorrow.
We are into
So
Devon.
that was Cornwall. In Devon tomorrow.
Mhm.
See you then.